Well, let's see what we got in the envelope. American Werewolf in London. This movie is a masterpiece, and it is one of my favorite movies of all time. Let's watch it. Uh-oh. It's a drop! Greetings, vampires, werewolves, zombies, and mummies. Welcome to another spooky Otaku Bandito episode. Today, I'm going to be reviewing a movie for a change. And it is The Beast of Yucca Flats. This movie is said to be one of the worst science fiction movies ever made. And it is even said to be worse than Plan 9 from Outer Space, and that's saying something. Please keep in mind, there are going to be some scenes with nudity in them. And I'm not going to show you these scenes for obvious reasons. And that's my only warning with this movie, so let's review The King of All Stinkers. The movie begins with a random girl doing her daily routine. And we never refer to her again. And then, uh-oh, shit's gonna get serious as the beast strangles her to death. This thing worked out better when Karras did it in the Mummy movies, except for the first one. And also, notice the clock sounds. And it gets faster and faster. Well, she's dead, but who cares though? We never refer to her again. And then, here comes the title screen. And it's one of the least impressive looking title screens I've ever saw in a motion picture. Even the title screen to the original Godzilla movie looked better than this. Written and directed by Coleman Francis! Oh man. He is one of the worst directors in motion picture history. Seriously, he's up there with Yuva Ball, and of course, Ed Wood. This movie's gonna suck. It's not going to a good start, man.
Joseph Jaworski's destination, Yucca Flats, and a meeting with top brass. These men are also from behind the Iron Curtain. Two of the Kremlin's most ruthless agents. Their orders: get the briefcase, kill Jaworski.
This movie gives out a terrible first impression. people are shooting their guns at each other.
Get in the car.
Why is there a gunfight in a monster movie? This makes you feel like you're watching some kind of gangster movie instead. And don't you just love it when the movie begins with a random gunfight? In fact, it made more sense when people are shooting at the mummy. And then all of a sudden there's a chase scene, and some random guy stops in between of this. This whole chase scene goes on for what it feels like an eternity. Eventually the chase scene ends and they go to the desert called Yucca Flats. What a surprise. So they get out of their cars and guess what? It's another fucking gunfight! And how are they shooting their guns if the bullets aren't coming out? At least have a special effect for it so you can tell that the people are firing their guns. Looks like the bullets are invisible. And we find out that the people are shooting at Javorsky, who has nothing to do but walk. Seriously? Is that all you can do? Just walk? If you're in danger, wouldn't you probably get a move on? And then this guy shoots down Javorsky's assistant for no apparent reason. And we cut back to the footage of Javorsky walking around. And shortly after, they are looking for Javorsky because they know he's here. He's still walking.
Yucca Flats. The A-bomb.
So, an atomic bomb explodes and they get caught in the explosion. And then it cuts to stock footage of an atomic bomb exploding. And this is common in monster movies that have monsters that are born from nuclear radiation. And then we cut to a random guy driving on the road. And then his car breaks down for no apparent reason.
Vacation time. Man and wife.
He has a random girl that does
Unaware of
nothing but
scientific
smoke a
progress.
cigarette. And don't you just love it when random girls smoke cigarettes? So this guy tries to fix the car, and then, out of nowhere, the beast strangles him to death. Well, he's dead. We cut back to footage of the guy that's dead, and then, out of nowhere, the beast starts strangling the girl to death. And how did he get in the car anyway? Did he just break in the rear window or something? Or did he open the door on the other side? I don't know. So, the beast opens the door and decides to carry around the dead body of the girl. Now, haven't we all seen this before? Yeah, similar to any other movie that involves a monster carrying a girl around. Even in the 1959 Mummy movie directed by Terence Fisher, there was a scene where the mummy carries a girl around, and it was inspired by the mummy's
Joseph
ghost.
Tavorsky, noted scientist, dedicated his life to the betterment of mankind.
Now seriously, what's the point of this whole narration? It's almost as bad as Monster High. And no, I am not talking about the dolls. I am talking about the 1989 movie called Monster High that was intended to be a horror comedy but failed. And don't you just love it when movies have unnecessary narration? Yeah, don't you just love it because this movie stinks! And I have already watched it for 10 minutes, and already it stinks as bad as a skunk or chicken poop. I would rather watch Kiki's Delivery Service or anything over this atrocious movie. And that's saying a lot. I am your worst nightmare. I am the Grim Reaper. Aren't you enjoying the movie? No. I have been watching it for about 10 minutes and it's bad. You better watch the damn movie or I'm coming to get ya! I was just kidding. I swear to God it's not a bad movie. So, some random guy decides to drive by and look at the dead body of the random guy that has been killed by the beast. And then we cut to footage of some other random guy driving on the road. We can assume that's a cop. And guess what? It's another driving scene, and don't you just love it when movies have random driving scenes?
Young Joe Dobson, Desert Patrol.
Was right! It was a cop driving on the road.
Officer,
Yeah?
there's a man dead. Back down the road.
Dead? How far down?
Couple miles, maybe more. Lying behind his car. Looks like he's been choked.
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. So, this cop, and his name is Joe Dobson, by the way, decides to drive by and investigate the dead body. And haven't we seen this footage of this dashboard already? Repeated uses of footage is common in movies, and even cartoons like He-Man and Sailor Moon, but here, it just feels cheap and unnecessary. Don't you just love it when movies and cartoons have repeated uses of footage?
Joe Dobson.
Here is that good old but
Caught on the wheels of
unnecessary
progress.
narration again.
Man choked to death.
Yeah, so it
A woman's
explains
purse
about the previous incidents
And
that
footprints
happened.
on the wasteland.
And it just really makes you feel like that you're learning something. And then guess what? He goes back on the road again. And here is the same footage of the dashboard, but this time it's a different background. And then it cuts to footage of the Beast carrying the girl around. And also I forgot to mention, the Beast, or Joseph Jaworski, is played by Swedish wrestler Tor Johnson. And it was definitely a good idea to have a wrestler in a movie. Please keep in mind, this was before Hulk Hogan was in Suburban Commando, and of course, Andre the Giant was in The Princess Bride. And he was also in Plan 9 from Outer Space, Bride the Monster, and of course, Night of the Ghouls. Pretty interesting fun fact.
Jim.
Joe Dobson decides to stop by some random person's house just because he feels like it. And of course, I said the word random a lot. Like, there's a lot of random things happening with this movie.
Yeah.
Better come with me. Trouble up the road. Murder.
Be right down.
And then guess what? He decides to go back in his car again in order to look for the Beast.
See you later, honey.
He's back on the road, so we get more driving scenes. And of course, more Beast carrying the girl scenes. Man, there's just some pattern going on here. And don't you just love it when movies have a pattern?
Shock waves of an A-bomb. A once powerful, humble man. Reduced to nothing.
I'm already done with this horrible travesty. And I have already sat through 30 minutes of this movie, and it's bad. I gotta get out of here before I go insane. I'm coming to get you. There is no escape from me. Oh shit, the door's locked. And this one's locked too. Please don't kill me. Kill me. You are cursed to sit through this movie. Fine, I will sit through this horrible travesty of a movie. So, Joe is still looking for the Beast. And then it cuts to footage of the Beast going into the cave. And of course, he gets a stick to use as a weapon.
Joseph Jaworski, respected scientist.
We heard that once, so
Now
why do we
see.
need to hear about it
Prowling
again?
the wastelands. A prehistoric beast in the nuclear age. Kill. Kill just to be killing.
The soundtrack of this movie is non-existent because guess what? There is no soundtrack and there's only one song in the whole entire movie. And that doesn't count the clock sounds in the
The mouth of the
beginning.
cave
And get used to
1,000
it
feet
because
up
this
over
song
jagged
plays
cliffs.
throughout the whole movie. It's
Man
cool to hear it
murdered.
the first time, but after a
woman's
while,
curse.
it gets old. And don't you just love it when movies don't have a soundtrack? Even bad movies like The Wasp Woman has a soundtrack.
location.
Alright, back to the king of all stinkers.
Well, there's the owner of the purse.
Yeah. Let's take her down. May still be alive.
Hey, she's still breathing.
Careful with her arm, Joe.
So, Joe and the other guy decide to carry the dead body of the girl around.
Hey, Joe. Here, feel her pulse. Well, doctors can't help her. Maybe angels, but not doctors.
That's probably one of the best quotes ever spoken in one of the worst science fiction movies ever made. At least this movie has one redeeming quality to it. We
People
cut to
travel
some
east,
random guys
west,
stopping by a gas station.
north, or
Man,
south.
I'm sure using the word
The
random a
Radcliffes
lot
travel
in this
east
review because
with two small
this movie is
boys,
as random as it gets.
adventurous boys.
And we also discover that he has brought with
Nothing
two
bothers some
boys.
people, not even flying saucers.
Come on, Art. Let's get some soda pop.
You know what? I'd rather get some soda pop and cook up some popcorn and watch Frankenstein instead of this awful movie.
Boys from the city, not yet caught in shade and no shade.
And then we
Jim and
cut
Joe
back
try to
to
make their way
Joe
up to
and
the
another
plateau.
police officer that's climbing
To
up
reach
a
the top,
mountain.
A
Man,
named
mountain
Samantha.
climbing is sure dangerous, isn't
Jump
it?
from a plane could land you on top.
Then it cuts to footage
But
of
the
another
killers,
random car driving,
not on
and
the
then it cuts
plateau.
to footage of the beast walking. So what you basically get is more cars driving and more beast walking. So don't expect too much variety, because there is no variety here. And then of course, after they try to attempt to climb the mountain, they go back to their car.
Hours
Yeah, I
in
wouldn't
the
blame them
broiling hot
because
desert
I
sun,
would do that too if
with
I
no
were
trace
you.
of the killer.
Mountain climbing
To
is a
put Jim
very
Archer's
dangerous
paratroop
thing to
training to good
do.
use is the only answer.
And you wouldn't
Trip up
guess
into
that
the
there would be
skies
another
and jump.
driving scene.
And if the
And guess what? I was right because there's another driving scene! But the movie takes a break from all those driving scenes because it goes to an airplane. Yeah. We finally get to see some variety, but again, don't expect too much variety here. But in the middle of this random guy tries to fix the tire, and of course his name is Hank, by the way, not to be confused with Hank Hill from King of the Hill. Well, of course, King of the Hill is a TV show, but it's much better to watch than this awful movie. Then, of course, Joe decides to get inside the airplane.
Jim?
Go, Joe! After the airplane takes off, it cuts to footage of another airplane lying on the ground. And then, of course, we cut back to Hank and his wife, and this is one of the scenes where the beast should have been. Yeah, the beast should have started strangling Hank's wife to death. But no.
I don't know, Lord.
And then we cut back to footage of the airplane flying. And of course, we find out that Hank is near the missile range. And you know, shit is gonna get serious. And of course, the beast decides to go after the kids. why he should be going after Hank because he's near the missile range.
Always on the prowl.
Hope he doesn't
Looking
kill
for
the
something,
kids,
somebody
because
to
that
kill.
would be a sad thing for any
Quench
kids
the
to
killer's
die in a
thirst.
movie. Don't you think so? And then of course we cut back to Joe flying his airplane. And then of course Joe gets out a sniper rifle. Yeah. Now this guy has got some balls. And he starts shooting at Hank. Man, this guy's even got more balls. Balls to the wall, man. Again, the bullets are invisible. Shoot him! Shoot him down! Now that's what you call balls to the wall. Now how many times have I said balls to the wall already? Well, he's dead.
Shoot first, ask questions later.
That's the best quote from the narrator of this movie. Of course,
Somebody
Joe
shoots
decides to get out of his airplane. What, did he set the airplane on autopilot? And he gets back on the ground. Now you know this guy has balls to the wall. And I said that like 3 times. Hey, wait a minute! How did Hank survive getting shot by a sniper rifle? Everybody knows that if you get shot, you're dead! Unless if you're like Jason Voorhees or Michael Myers. Anyway, let's skip this and go right to the final act. Alright, so here's the final act. The Beast is still looking for the boys, and the boys decide to get a drink. Now seriously, why do we need to see the boys getting a drink? What's the point of this scene anyway? It's unnecessary. And then of course the kids hear a coyote howling. And by the way, that does not sound like a coyote howling. That sounds more like a Native American, and yes, I said that correctly. Shouting. Here comes the Beast, and he's still looking for those 2 boys. And also I forgot to say that the Beast is one of the worst monsters in motion picture history. And that's saying something for monsters like the Giant Claw, the God Monster, Minya, the Roman, and of course, the monster from the ocean floor. Didn't even try, the Wolfman looks better than him. Just get him already! And then, of course, the kids go inside the cave. Now, isn't that a bad sign, going into the enemy's hideout? That'd be like if Batman went inside the Joker's secret lair.
Be careful.
Well, here he comes. Here comes the Beast. Uh-oh, he's gonna get you. You better get out of here, you kids. Because it's not a good thing to go inside an enemy's hideout. Get him! And of course the Beast makes weird noises,
Beast
and he
finding his
throws a
victim
rock. For no apparent
unleashes his
reason.
fury.
What the hell is he doing? Don't just stand there. Get him! Is he just gonna lay there? Or is he just playing dead? And of course, I forgot to tell you one of the kids' name is Art. Yeah, that's a good name for a boy. Art. Why is he just laying there? Just get him already!
With Hank and some helpful neighbors, the search narrows.
The group is looking for the two boys that are inside the cave. That makes sense, doesn't it? If you have lost your kids, wouldn't you go look for them? And of course, they decide to go in the cave to look for the kids. I probably wouldn't do that if I were you, because the beast will come after ya. And then the beast throws another rock for no apparent reason. And then here comes the police officer duo, Joe and Jim. Told you it was a group. Here comes the beast. They know he's coming because he's after those kids. After them! Get that monster! Go, Joe! He's dead. And of course, the beast gets right back up. Now I can accept that because he's a monster. And of course, the beast throws Joe. Man, he's strong. And then he starts strangling him to death. You can do it, Joe! Fight back! And of course, Jim starts shooting at the beast.
Jim, you all right? Yeah, I'm all right.
Oh wait, I was wrong all the time. That character's name is Jim and the other one is named Joe. Well, I should have known better. Sorry about that. And of course, the beast is finally dead. After getting shot at a lot of times. Man, beast could take more bullets than 50 Cent.
Joseph Jaworski, noted scientist.
Yeah, I know. We already heard about that many times already. Do we really need to hear about it again? Of course, there's a bunny running around. The end. Thank God the evil's finally over. This movie is beyond horrible, and it is one of the worst science fiction movies I've ever seen in my life. And it makes Battlefield Earth look like a masterpiece. This movie came on a DVD pack with 19 other movies, including Gamera, The Invincible, which is a much better movie to watch than this one. This movie was so bad that it even got the Mystery Science Theater treatment. And for those of you who are unfamiliar, Mystery Science Theater 3000 is a show that first aired in 1988 on the channel called KTMA, and it later aired on Comedy Central and the Sci-Fi Channel. The show is about a mad scientist called Dr. Clayton Forrester and his assistant called Frank that kidnap Joel the janitor and send him to a space station called the Satellite of Love, where he is forced to watch bad movies. And Joel the janitor also has two robot sidekicks called Tom Servo and Croty Robot. I do not recommend you to watch this movie. And there are lots of better movies to watch than this awful movie. It is a movie that should have never existed, and it should have stayed in the film vault. I better get out of here because it's coming after me. Let's go in here. There is no escape from me. Stand still and I will bring out your deepest fear. Your deepest fear is The Grudge, the scariest movie ever made, and is even scarier than Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, Halloween, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and even horror of Dracula. Oh no! He has brought out this thing that I fear most by using strobe lights. And it is The Grudge. I'm coming to get you. Take this! I brought out your deepest fear. And it's an NES Zapper. Roll this, Mr. Reaper. Well, he's dead, and let's get rid of this awful movie. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode since it is my first ever movie review. And tune in next time where we're going to review The Power of the Sega Saturn.